Louis Scurti. I'm in the offices of the Italian Tribune in Montclair, New Jersey, and I'm with the editor of the Italian Tribune, and you're going to find out a lot of information about Italian culture, arts, food, everything. Tutti cose. With Buddy Fortunato. Buddy, thank you so much for having us.
It's always nice to be with you.
This is wonderful. I have a million things I want to talk about, so we'll start with history. Your affiliation with the Italian Tribune. Give me a little history of the Tribune and then your affiliation with it.
The Italian Tribune is the largest Italian-American paper in the United States, printed in English. It's a weekly publication.
Yes, and weekly, yes.
Yeah,
it's always in my mailbox.
And for almost 90 years, we've never missed a week of publication. My father-in-law, who had been a White House photographer, bought the paper in 1968. I came along a couple of years later and married his daughter Marion, and at that time I was in the insurance business, and I really had no design of being involved with the paper. So we eventually I got involved in the paper. He had no sons.
Okay.
And when my father-in-law bought the paper, the Tribune was maybe 8 pages.
Oh.
He built the paper up, and he did a wonderful, wonderful job. When I took over the paper sometime later, he had a series of strokes and became ill. And at that time, my sister-in-law Joan was here at the paper. She was the general manager, but I could see that she needed some assistance. So I got involved in the paper. First thing I did was take the paper to New York.
Oh.
And today we have more papers in New York than we do in New Jersey.
Now, what does that mean, you took it to New York?
Well, I introduced it to the merchants, to the Italian-American clubs.
Great.
I took a bundle of papers in one arm and my briefcase in the other, and I just spent a lot of time over there, introducing the paper. So today we have more readership in New York than we do in New Jersey.
And I know you have readership in Florida and throughout the country because the letters that come in.
Yeah, we do. So, but today the paper is, as I indicated, the largest publication of its kind, and it's not close. It's by far we're the largest, and it's because we have quality people here.
Yes.
You met a couple when you came in.
Yes.
And the content.
One of whom I taught at DePaul High School many years ago.
and the content, we're very conscientious as to the content.
Yes.
This is not the neighborhood paper
No.
This is a publication that the Italian community, the Italian-American community, can be very proud of.
Yes. When I was a child, my grandmother used to get Il Progresso. Remember that?
Wonderful publication.
Yes. I don't know where it is now.
Wonderful publication. Today, that newspaper is America OG, which is in the Italian language.
Okay.
The Pope family sold.
Generoso Pope.
Right.
Yeah.
They wanted to close it down. They felt that big wave of immigration was over, and they had felt that the market was going to decline. So they ended up selling the paper to the employees.
Oh. Yeah.
So the employees bought the paper. It goes back quite a ways.
Yeah.
And they do a wonderful job.
Excellent. The Italian Tribune, so therefore it didn't start with your father-in-law, did it?
No, paper started, let's see, we're almost 90 years old, so the paper started in well, those are copies.
Oh, okay, right.
Those are the early copies, the
Yes.
introductory copies of the paper up there. So it goes back to The in 1931, I think the paper started,
Yeah, that's great.
and was in English and Italian.
And it's important for our guests to know that right now the Italian Tribune is English, okay? Refers to a lot of Italian culture, and every once in a while they'll have some Italian sections, understanding of the language, but it's all in English. It's not a but, and it's all in English. So anybody can enjoy it, and culturally, it's a gem. It's a gem. You cover everything.
You'd be surprised. We must have, I can't give you an exact because I don't know, but we have quite a few non-Italians
Oh, sure.
who get the paper
Absolutely.
for either cooking or travel or the art. And, we take great pride in that and to be able to relate to non-Italian Americans.
Yes, yes. Well, it's cultural, and it appeals to everyone on that level. Like you said, the arts, the food, the fashions, cars. I mean, you've covered so many segments of society, even politics, and we'll talk about that later.
We tried to create a platform where others can live Italian.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. That's a very welcoming attitude.
So, in fact, we're working on something now to create a digital platform, and it's called Living Italian.
Good, good.
We created our own travel entity.
That's modern. We got to talk about that. And we could stop and just talk about that for a few minutes. Go ahead.
I can't tell you, Father, how many people over the years called the office and said, can you do me a favor? I'm going to Italy. Can you tell me where to go?
Oh.
Can you tell me what I should do? What hotel I should stay at? What restaurant I should, how do I get into that museum? So after all these years, about 6 months ago, I said to the staff, we might as well create our own entity here. I mean, we've been doing all of this stuff all these years. We might as well get paid for it.
Be a travel agency.
Yeah, so we created our own travel entity with a very original name called Fortunate Travel.
Wonderful.
So
and his name is Fortunato. That was the connection.
So we've had some fun doing that. We put some real interesting trips together for people.
And they're food trips as well as travel trips.
Those are the best.
You love to eat, I know that.
Those are the best.
That's wonderful. Let me tell you, I went to Italy a few months ago, and I was there during Holy Week, and I knew I was going to be there during Holy Week. Based on your stories from last year, I had to find the best town for the Misteri, the Good Friday procession especially. We looked at everything, we went online, but all based on some of the stories that you had in the Tribune of the processions, the statues, the Madonna, all that. So we settled on Bari, and we stayed in Bari the whole...
Wonderful place.
Oh, Madonna, che bellissimo. It was the food was great, the processions.
People don't realize Puglia, which is that region.
Yes.
Is such a wonderful place, an exciting place. It's got a culture. Yes. It's got great olive oil.
Yes.
It's got great wine.
Right.
And it's the heel. As you look at Italy, it's the heel of what is perceived to be the boot.
Right.
And it's surrounded by water. And it's just a wonderful place. The people are terrific, and there's a lot to do, a lot to see.
Walking around during the week, we need references for restaurants because there's so many of them. We saw one that was pulpe. Okay, so we went in. I said, I think that means octopus. So we went in, and he heard we were talking outside. This was the owner. The restaurant's very small. Brought us right in, says, you're from America, I'm going to take care of you, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Sometimes you think it's in the canzone, Yeah. But he was a gentleman. He brought his son over, and his son took our order. He recommended certain things. First time I had a big piece of octopus. It was, roasted. So delicious. And then we had octopus pasta with the... or the chetti, the pasta.
Well, that's it's a funny thing. when you really study the various regions and you study pasta, each region has at least one pasta that they're famous for.
Right.
And I'm not talking about the sauce as much as
The shape of the pasta,
itself.
yes, yes.
And the orecchiette is the pasta of Puglia.
Yes.
You know, that's theirs. And that sounds good. My mouth is salivating
Yeah, I
now
know.
talking about this.
Facciamo il viaggio. Okay, we're going to stop there. That's a great spot to stop because I want you to just get a flavor of what we're doing. But we're going to be talking about all aspects of Italian culture, life, Italian-American culture, and we're going to hit politics, and we're going to hit the church, and we're going to hit arts. So this has been Father Louis Scurti with segment 1 with Buddy Fortunato, the editor of the Italian Tribune. Thank you. I appreciate your invitation. And go ahead. You want to close with something?
No,
You sure? Okay.
positive.
This is your time.
I'm just honored that you're here, Father. I've known you a while, and your wonderful family, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. We'll be back.